Unscripted.
The success of the PlayStation 5 is undoubtedly a bit of a double-edged sword, and what I mean by that is, yes, it's a great success. We see that it's success, but it also comes with a little bit of a caveat due to the fact that, you know, so many people are still hungry for a PlayStation 5. You know, we see it everywhere. We see a lot of people saying, you know, they want their PlayStation 5 and they can't find one. Obviously, there is also an extreme lack of PlayStation 5s in general, and you know, I feel like that's something that's probably going to be difficult to fix if it can be fixed anytime real soon. We're going to continue to see, you know, a situation where, you know, these things are hard to come by, and that is extremely unfortunate, you know. And you know, for me personally, I was lucky. I was able to get mine. You know, I'm sure all of you guys know the story by now. I was actually in the middle of a podcast when it turned out that it was okay to go get these things from you know, GameStop, and so, you know, we were able to go procure one. And you know, again, it's different for everybody. You know, like, had I not been able to get that, would I have been able to get one? Probably not. Would I be able to get one now if I really wanted one? Maybe. It depends on how much time you have really to sort of go kind of crazy with these kind of things and pay attention to it, because you know, I was able to get other things for family members and stuff like that, other new consoles and stuff like that. So yeah, like, is it possible? Absolutely. Is it probable? Probably not. So, you know, it also puts you in that situation. So, oh yeah, well, we have this great new console, it's selling well, but we can't get enough supply out there to meet the demand, unfortunately. And you know, even more than just that, you also have a situation where you have to be able to have games out there. And you know, I think that's going to be tougher than people realize due to the pandemic going on and things like that. And I've covered this multiple times. It is a very strange situation, because I don't think we've ever faced anything like this, where, you know, as gamers and as fans, we're sitting here and we're going, you know, and we're going, oh, well, what can we do? You know, we have this new console, but what about the games? And we keep seeing games get delayed. That's super unfortunate. I really do hope that we can see some games actually come out and, you know, and give us something to play on these consoles, because, and you know, I know I was very rough on people, you know, wanting to play old games, and I get it. Like, the games that were last gen are great looking games. They're still relevant. They play great on the new consoles and stuff like that. But you still want that fresh new thing to play on these consoles. And the fact is that thanks to lockdowns and all this kind of stuff, you know, it's just crazy to see how this kind of all comes about. And, you know, they've already delayed the Harry Potter game. They've delayed, you know, other stuff as well is probably going to get delayed. It's already probably known that they're going to delay God of War Ragnarok into 2022, which I think was a given, considering, you know, if they can get the rest of the stuff out on their slate, they'll be fine. But, you know, it just does sort of feel a little bit odd, and it feels a little bit strange that, you know, we have these new consoles, but the games look like they're not going to come at all hardly this year. Like, it looks like we're going to all be in for a drought, and we're all going to have to kind of rely on old games. But we do have some good news in from the PlayStation 5, and I'm looking forward to doing this video. This stuff kind of came out unexpectedly, and so it is something nice to look forward to if you're a PlayStation 5 owner or look to be a PlayStation 5 owner very shortly. So let's get into it. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here with Crapgamer Reviews, back with another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. Please like, share, subscribe. I would appreciate that as well. You know, it means a lot to me personally, and I'm appreciative of each and every one of you. Shout out to all the old subscribers, new subscribers, and everybody in between. You're amazing people. Thank you very much. And again, if you're looking for a way to help out my crappy little crummy channel, then the best way to do it is a simple like. It means a lot to me, honestly, it does. So you know, so this is something that kind of leaked out thanks to a job listing. Ghost of Tsushima 2 is definitely happening, according to this. We now know that the Sucker Punch production has its nose to the grindstone, developing a true sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. Was that any kind of doubt? I mean, realistically, the first one did extremely well. In keeping with this job opportunity at the studio, after building up and focusing on the infamous series for 5 years, the company chose a change and on their next undertaking, while factoring in the lessons they learned about open world games, of course, and the project became one of PlayStation's best-selling titles in 2020. And the team has many more ideas before they settled on the island of Tsushima during the Mongol invasion. These included a game centered around pirates, another telling the story of the Three Musketeers, and perhaps most interestingly, one about Scottish outlaw Rob Roy. I think there was a movie about that with like Liam Neeson in it or something like that. So yeah, it's definitely one of those things to kind of keep in mind. But this is really good news. You already have kind of the world and the groundwork there. So again, you probably aren't going to have to wait 4 years. You're probably 2 to 3 years. These new consoles make games easier to develop for, faster to develop for, quicker to develop for. So we should be able to look forward to something much quicker. I think Sucker Punch did a fantastic job with that game, and a sequel on the PlayStation 5 sounds absolutely incredible. And like if you haven't played Ghost of Tsushima on your PlayStation 5, you're in for a treat for sure, because it's definitely a fantastic game, and it plays so much better on the PlayStation 5. So a sequel at like a full 60 built for the PlayStation 5 just feels like it would be like an incredible feat to behold. So to me, that would be a huge thing on the PlayStation 5. I just think that would be amazing. That wasn't the only bit that came out, as well as Naughty Dog, who are arguably the top developer in the world right now. They're making something, quote, very cool on the PlayStation 5. They're recruiting new developers and things like that. Hot off the heels of the Game of the Year, which is obviously, The Last of Us Part 2. Again, I'll always state, man, a lot of people ask me, well, which did you like better, Uncharted 4 or The Last of Us Part 2? I had more fun with Uncharted 4 because that's more of a fun kind of adventurous game. Now, when it comes to the Last of Us Part 2, that's more of a game where I loved it, like great story, great kind of storytelling, and great kind of everything there, but at the same time I kind of dreaded playing it at times because it's such an anxiety filled game, you know what I mean? Like, you just the scares, the setting, the atmosphere, and I've been very honest and truthful about that, right? So it is just one of those things that kind of I have to deal with. So Naughty Dog's Neil Druckmann, co-creator and director of The Last of Us series, recently took to Twitter with a post encouraging people to apply for a job at Naughty Dog, adding that the studio is making something very cool. The developer has openings in multiple positions across several departments, including animation, art, game design, production, programming, and more. What the project could be is anyone's guess right now, but Druckmann suggested last year that Naughty Dog's next game could be anything from The Last of Us Part 3 to an entirely new IP. Meanwhile, a multiplayer The Last of Us project is also something that many are expecting the studio to work on, because they've obviously already kind of announced that. It also remains to be seen what role Druckmann will have in this new game. He was recently promoted to the position of Naughty Dog co-president, but has since said that he will continue to write and direct games, even with his more administrative-focused duties. So he did say that, come work with us, we're making something very cool. Seeking a new role in 2021, Naughty Dog is hiring. We're looking for talented game devs across multiple disciplines. So yeah, like, that's very exciting to see that, which is obvious, like, right? Like, whoa, CG, why are you doing a video on this? We knew that Naughty Dog was going to do a new game, but it's just cool to see. And then as far as with the other thing with Ghost of Tsushima 2, they're the potential applicant, which they'll have 3 or more years of design experience and must understand the core combat system of Ghost of Tsushima. Additionally, they will require a contemporary knowledge of modern combat design, as well as experience working on melee combat systems and experience working on progression and investment systems. So again, if you have to know about Ghost of Tsushima, then obviously that's a sequel. See, just because a game comes out and doesn't mean you'll necessarily get a sequel. So this is like confirming a sequel is coming, and I think that's great news. Like, I think that's going to be something that's going to be very exciting for everybody, kind of looking forward to it and stuff like that. I really do hope that we continue to see innovation. I love innovation, don't get me wrong. I think innovation is amazing, and it's the lifeblood of the industry, new IP and stuff like that. But one of the great things about, and I can't stress this enough, supporting games that come out there is, you have games, and then you buy games and support them, and then we get more, right? That's the great thing about it. I think that's what separates, Microsoft and Sony and all that kind of stuff. So I do hope that we continue to see that, and I would absolutely love to see them continue to support this developer and Sony give them the support that they need and things like that, because Ghost of Tsushima is an absolute treasure of a game and a masterpiece in my opinion. It did win some Game of the Year awards last year as well. I mean, obviously it wasn't as well received as The Last of Us Part 2, but again, I do feel like when it comes to certain developers, they get a little bit more leniency when it comes to reviews. Like, I just feel like anything that comes out that's Naughty Dog, or even CD Projekt Red, right, with Cyberpunk, it just feels to me like we were in this situation where they kind of got a pass. I know, like, the PC version, if you had a beefy PC, it wasn't as bad, but a lot of the glitches and stuff were still there. So, and they seemed to get a pass because that game was a 90 at first, and then it started coming out all this other stuff was wrong, and we started to see the real issues kind of come out and things like that. So I do feel like Ghost of Tsushima is a great game, and I'm looking forward to the sequels. I'll link all of this in the description so you fine folks can check that out at your leisure. Please let me know what you think down below, and you can hit me up on Twitter, you can hit me up on PSN, you can hit me up on Xbox Live. I honestly love hearing from each and every one of you. Thank you so much for taking time out to watch another one of my videos. Maybe take a minute to consider subscribing. Rack 'em up. Game on, my friends. Game on. Crapgamer out.
Unscripted.